Welcome back. Today, let's read and discuss some AITAs. I've got Reddit pulled up. Let's jump right into it. AITA for telling my wife she needs to knock on my separate bedroom door before entering. About a year ago, my male 44 wife, 38 female, suggested us getting separate bedrooms since she had a lot of trouble sleeping together and it would allow us to have our own privacy. I was initially not a big fan of the idea because I thought it would affect our relationship and our connection. But after talking about it for a few months, I reluctantly agreed. She also suggested that we need to respect each other's privacy by knocking on each other's doors before entering. Boom. So for about a year now, we've had our own bedrooms, and to my surprise, I've been enjoying it a lot. We still sleep together a few times a week, but do spend the majority of nights separately. I really enjoyed the privacy and having the opportunity to unwind by myself without having to worry about anything else. But my wife, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be enjoying it as much. She has started spending more nights with me in my bedroom, which is fine, but she's now started acting like we don't have any agreements at all. At first, she was very adamant about knocking on each other's doors before entering each other's rooms and would frequently call me out if I didn't. But now she started acting like my separate bedroom is her bedroom and she doesn't knock before entering my room like we agreed to. When I called her out on it, she got really emotional and angry with me. She told me that I didn't care about her and I didn't want to have her around anymore. She also said it really hurt her feelings. But I just referred to all the rules she had made up and that had gotten her really upset. AITA. I'm gonna say, oh, that one's like a little bit of a hard one. I'm a little bit torn on that one, but I think I'm gonna go with, like, so far I don't think you've been an asshole, but I think that if you continue to stickle for the rules too much, that it'll become you being an a-hole, right? Because obviously you are recognizing that she's like made a mistake and she's not really liking what the agreement that she set up and she wants to spend more time with you. And if you're saying that's fine, then why are you acting like it's not fine? You know what I mean? It's like you're saying it's fine that she wants to be in there, but also you're saying it's not fine. It's like if she wants to go back, if you guys tried something out on her request and it's not really going the way that she thought it was, she's not really liking it. I understand that you're liking it, but like, are you liking it enough that it's worth this kind of this that it's worth not being on the same page with your wife? Or could you just maybe, like, because again, this wasn't even your idea, you were fine with it the other way, could you maybe just be, I don't know, it's like when I think of relationship, I think of it as like the leader in that relationship where she clearly wanted to do something, it's not working out, and perhaps you should kind of take lead and be like, hon, I see this isn't really working out for us. Do you want to try going back to the other way, and kind of see what she says about that? You know what I mean? I would definitely just be like, yeah, this we tried it your way and it's not working. So let's go back to the way that I was liking it. I know I like it this way now too, but you know what I mean? He's saying he liked it the other way too. So it's like, why stickle for it just because you're right? You know what I mean? I feel like in relationships, sometimes you're absolutely right, but just do it like for the sake of the relationship. You're not even admitting you're wrong. Like, nobody's saying you're wrong. You know what I mean? I think that's where some people kind of get like stuck up, where it's like, oh, if I do this, that means that like she's right now. No, it's not. She's still wrong, but you're just helping her through something that she was wrong in. That, I don't know. That's how I would see it. I'm just gonna scroll through real quick and see if the people seem to agree. Yeah, most people are saying NTA. Feels like something else is going on her side. Also, I guess, yeah, this commenter has a good point. He says, I can think of a few reasons for wanting to sleep separately, but insisting on knocking implies wanting to be warned before you come in. Now, because like this is something that I can relate to a little bit personally. I don't have like my own full bedroom or my own room, but I do have like my office here that I work in. It's kind of like a spare room slash thing, and we do have it's not a bed, but it's like a mattress that I do sometimes sleep on in here. Actually, a lot of the time. Um, so a lot of the times I will spend the night separately, and I can't imagine expecting him to knock before he comes in. You know what I mean? It's like that's our bed, like our bedroom and our spare bedroom are like our bedrooms. I don't consider like like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I work in here, but he has his stuff in here too, and I have my stuff. It's like we both just kind of share both spaces, so it's just like I can't imagine, even though this one's more like primarily mine and that one might be more considered primarily his, like he works in there, I work in here essentially, but it's like I can't imagine expecting him to knock. um I don't know. He usually just kind of, typically people just announce themselves anyways. They just sort of like, as they're coming in, they're like, hey, whatever. Like, so I'm not like worried about getting caught in the moment or anything like that. It's like, I don't need any warning. So that's kind of a good point that like, why did you set up the knocking thing to begin with? Um, that is strange. But there really is, the fact of the matter is that like, while he could be maybe helpful and lead them out of this kind of like where she's led them that they're not happy with, it's ultimately not his responsibility. While he could do that to absolutely help the response to help the relationship, if she's asked for something and she's realizing that she's not liking it, she needs to speak up. But see, I guess that's the thing, is sometimes with our feelings we don't necessarily get a full grasp on our feelings. We just feel them, and we don't. She maybe needs to just like do some introspection and like sit and think about why she's even being in. It's like, I don't know, but it's like sometimes you don't think about it until people point it out. And so that's why I'm not saying the responsibility is on him, because she is going back on what she said she wanted to do. But I'm just saying, it's like, if you see someone who's like not really understanding that they're struggling, it seems to me like she's struggling through her feelings, doesn't really have a good grasp on her feelings or what she feels or why, or she's not really even kind of like thinking about the fact that she's spending more time in here and getting upset that whatever, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you as an outsider, as like the partner, have a little bit more of a full picture view of what's going on. And that's why I say like help. And I'm not saying only the man should be the leader, because when the partner, whoever, whatever, it's like whatever gender roles you guys are doing and your thing, it's like when anybody sees somebody in their relationship struggling, they should point that out and help it, because maybe they don't notice. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm like, I don't know, like I'm mentally ill, so maybe I'm maybe I'm like kind of by myself on that one, where it's like sometimes I'm in my feelings and I don't really know that I'm in my feelings. I don't really have a good picture of it, and I feel like sometimes it's really helpful for my partner to be like, hold on, can we just stop for a second? Can you take a minute and like just introspect? Because it seems to me like you're in your feelings. Like, can you confirm, are you or are you not? And I will like take some time and think, and I usually am. AITA for not telling my dad's guests that I marinated the chicken with milk. Food allergies can be a touchy subject. Let's see. It kind of depends, like if anything was asked or inquired or what. Let's see the story. It was my 18 male dad, 43's birthday. He wanted me to cook for him and some friends, and I said yes. Met some of them before. One of his friends is also my girlfriend, 18's dad. I did what my mom taught me, use milk to make the chicken batter. A couple of them were surprised that I managed to cook roast chicken well. I told them thanks, I just marinated it with milk to make it tender, and one of them panicked. Turns out he has a milk allergy and gets digestive issues. My dad started berating me, saying I should have told him ahead of time that I was using milk to check if anyone is allergic. That is so careless of me to not check when milk is such a common allergy. Nope. If you have an allergy and someone else is cooking for you, you need to make that clear to them. No, absolutely not. No. That one's pretty clear. Let me scroll down. NTA on. No. Not on you. NTA. Someone has out. Yeah. Okay. People in the comments, pretty much, like this one's going to be a quick said and done one. Like literally, if you have something that affects the way you live your life, and like someone else is going to participate in that, you need to let them know. It really is that simple. NTA, your dad should have told you. Right. It's like, it's not even on the dad, I don't think, but it's on like it's like a miscommunication here, really, but that's not on the son. The person should have told the dad. And if someone else is cooking other than, like, the dad is hosting, so if he's not the one cooking, the host needs to pass that information on to the cook. Honestly, if I had an allergy to something, I'd just either let the person know ahead of time or at least ask before I stuck it in my mouth. This is not on you. Absolutely agreed. It's not your allergy, it's not your responsibility. Again, like a little simply put, but again, if they didn't tell you, many foods contain milk. And again, I don't know where these people are, but here in America, honestly, yeah, so many things contain milk, like bread and all kinds of weird things that you like, chips and stuff. Like, that's one thing that, like, as someone who tries to avoid like meat and dairy as much as possible, it really bothers me that they put meat or that they put milk in hot chips and bread a lot. And I don't know what else, because they don't, I think, affect me personally, but there's probably other things that you're just like, why is there milk in that? Or like a lot of the times there'll be a dessert that has nothing except for just like traces of milk, and you're just like, not traces on the, you know what I mean, but like actually like a little bit of milk, and you're just like, why though? Like, it totally didn't need it. NTA, it's pretty clear cut on this one in the comments. NTA, if something affects you, you gotta let people know. AITA for insisting my grandson not be punished. It depends on for what, but frankly, I feel like kids are way underpunished nowadays. As a non-parent, admittedly, so, you know, take whatever I say with like literally no grains of salt at all. I am 58 male, and my daughter 34 has a grandson 8 came over for my wife's death day. I didn't expect that. About halfway through the visit, I was making lunch when my daughter walked in with my son by the arm. She was holding a bag of chips and explained that he had went to the pantry and took them out without permission and said I should decide his punishment. I explained that he could have them since I had bought the chips impulsively and had been looking for a way to get rid of them without wasting them, since these kind of chips were fit for a much thinner man than me. She insisted that he had to be punished, and I said it's good to let kids win now and then, and that's how I did it with her. She got frustrated but let him off with the chips, and she said I was lucky it was such a sentimental occasion. I didn't like putting my foot down with her. AITA? No. Parenting is not your responsibility. Parenting her child is not your responsibility. If she feels he needs punishment, it's like, I don't know, we don't get much of a backstory on this one. Kind of just sounds like an a-hole mom, just from the little bit of story we have. I don't know if she does need punishing over food. You know, he does need punishing over food. I do understand most kids don't. That's kind of a rare, like, I don't think punishing is not, it doesn't seem like punishing is the efficient way to deal with food, just coming from, again, a non-parent, but like someone who has obviously like eating and food issues and like would get punished for overeating when I was a kid. And like whenever I would like eat too much or eat something I knew I wasn't supposed to, and I would try to hide the trash, like I would get in trouble for that as a kid. And as you can see, as a full-fledged adult, I'm still as fat as heck. So just my personal experience is like punishment didn't necessarily work. So I don't know that punishment is required at all for something like food, but if it even is, it's definitely not required by anyone other than the direct guardian, like the parent, the mom in this case, you know what I mean? If she comes to you and says like, hey, it's up to you, and your choice is to not punish, then that's your choice. Like, she put it up to you. She needs to deal with that. Also, yeah, it's like sad occasion, especially, so it's like, maybe the daughter is just like up in her feelings about the occasion, right? Like, I don't know. NTA, it's the parent's responsibility to give out punishments. NTA for what? Eating a snack, right? She's gonna give the kid an eating disorder. Well, I don't know if she's gonna, yeah. NTA, she left it up to you. Yeah. All the comments are pretty much parroting what I just said. It's just NTA. If she left it up to you, she left it up to you. Period. But I don't think it's even right that she left it up to you, and I probably don't even think it's right that she's punishing over food. This seems like a really I don't know. Again, my personal bias like really weighs heavily here, but it's like that is pretty upsetting to hear punishments over food. Again, like maybe it's worked for other people, but for me it really really had like really negative effects on my eating and thinking about food. You know what I mean? AITA for booking a full solo day activity when on holiday. Ooh. Initial thoughts, like unless you are directly responsible for something or someone, then no. My girlfriend and I are going on holiday for 5 nights. Oh, it's the girlfriend for 5 nights too. I don't think it's a problem to have one. Let's see. We've been looking for activities to do and have picked out a few to do together. There's one thing that I really want to do, but my girlfriend has no interest in it. Okay, my mind's made up already. You're fine, dude. Go ahead and do it. It's a full day activity, and since my girlfriend didn't want to do it, I said I was fine doing it on my own. She said I shouldn't be doing that since we're going away together, but I've mentioned we've got 5 nights, so we've got plenty of time to be together. She told me I shouldn't book it, but I pointed out we're not likely to go back to this place on holiday since we wanted to try, new places each time we go away. So this might be the only chance to actually do it. She just said we're supposed to be spending the holiday together and that I shouldn't be planning to spend a whole day of it apart from her. I just repeated that we'll still have plenty of time together and that it's the only, one thing I'm going to be doing on the one day I'm going to be busy. She said that I shouldn't be allowed to do an activity I'm excited about and that I should have to skip it because she has no interest. She just said I wasn't considering her and that I am wrong for deciding to book it. AITA for booking a solo activity while on holiday with my girlfriend? No. Firm no. No. I tried not to make up my mind too early throughout this story, but I did. Firm no. I mean, honestly, like, you should approach every relationship, like, I mean, if your goal in that relationship is for it to be a long-term relationship and marriage and all of, like, a life together, you should approach it as such. And so even, like, from pretty early on, right? And so I'm just thinking, it's like, you guys have a literal entire lifetime to do things together and support each other in things that you want to be able to do separately. And I think that the girlfriend's really failing at the support each other in the things you want to do separately thing. Like, as a couple, it's pretty important to not become one. You know what I mean? Like, I've made that mistake in the past. And I just, again, this is all my personal experience, of course. That's what we're doing here. But it's just like, from my personal experience, I've had much healthier relationships when there were things that we did separately outside of our relationship, as well as, of course, plenty of things that we do together as well. And that's what it sounds like he's trying to do. Like, most of, like, literally the majority, only one day out of the 5. And it's a daytime, and he's explaining a daytime activity, so you guys can still wake up and cuddle in the morning and have breakfast. He'll go for several hours during the day. She could go hit the spa or the beach or what, like, she could plan something during that time too. It's like, and then they could come back in the evening and spend the evening together. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds like a perfect day. 1 out of 5 for a vacation, and, like, the other 5 were pretty much doing daytime activities together. Like, that sounds perfect to me. I don't know. and again, I just go back to my points. Like, you need to be supportive of them doing things that don't always include you, and that it's like, especially if he wants to, absolutely, you're invited, come along, and you just don't want to go. That's what especially, like, turns it up even a notch more, right? It's like, you're invited, lady, if you're really that worried about being by yourself. Like, you really don't want to go have a spa day by yourself or go read a book on the beach by yourself or something, which I can't imagine why you wouldn't. That sounds amazing. But it's like, even if you don't, like, just go with him then. What's the problem? I don't know. It sounds like she's just being pretty unsupportive, frankly. And I'll do a quick scroll through the comments. People are referencing the YTAs, but all I see are NTAs. So apparently there was a lot of YTAs at first, maybe, and they got flooded out. Because everyone keeps saying, like, oh, the YTAs are wild. But I'm not. I was going to scroll and try to find some, but I'm not finding any. Yeah, this person said, kind of similar what I said, could you try and find something she wants to do and suggest, she do as an activity for that day? That's just good advice for him. She should be doing that herself, but given that she's not, definitely, yeah, suggest that. It's like, hun, like, isn't there anything you would love to do? It's like, maybe he doesn't want to go, Or like, I don't know why I said spa dates, because it's like that's usually separate. You have to go in the female side by yourself anyways, right? Or I've never really been to a spa, but that's the vibe I get. Um like I've seen spas and stuff, and like they have female stuff. So it's like you'd have to be separated anyways. So it's like if he doesn't want to do a spa day and you don't want to do whatever thing he's doing, then like do those at the same time. I don't know. I think both sides have reasonable expectations. I can understand you wanting to have an experience that interests you on a holiday, but is it completely reasonable for her to expect that you spend the time together as a couple's holiday? No, I disagree. I don't think it's completely reasonable for her to expect that you spend every second of your time together. You know what I mean? Especially given the circumstances, this is something that is a pretty rare opportunity. Like it can only be done there and like here and now, for him, like his activity or whatever it is. Like it can only be done here and now. It can't be done at any other time that's better for her or anything. So it's like she really needs to make this work, I think. I don't understand how someone can expect their partner to stay with them 100% of the time. People have different likes. I would never expect my partner to do something they would enjoy, but I know he wouldn't mind me doing it by myself. Right? It's like, it's all about balance with these relationships. It's like sometimes I do things that I don't particularly love, but I love seeing my partner do things he loves, so I enjoy being there because of that. Sometimes I really won't enjoy that thing so much to the level that like even seeing him enjoy it won't particularly make me have fun, and so I'll let him do it himself. You know what I mean? It's like there's different level. And I was gonna say something else too. It's like all different, and like plenty of things that you guys both, that's it. It's like, and of course plenty of things that you both love that you do together, but like that's kind of an aside here. It's like if you like really really hate the idea of going to this activity with him, you need to go find something else to do for the whole day and find something he can do. And you know what, I would even top it off with, at the end of him having his one day spending his fun activity, I would be waiting in a cute little lingerie for him or something when he comes back. Like, just, you know what I mean? Just like cherry on top for his nice day, because that's just my whole vibe in a relationship, is to like, I don't even know how to word this without being too controversial nowadays, but it's like, I want to be helpful. I want to make things peaceful in my home. I want to be that little cherry on the top that at the end of a good day he gets to come home to me, or at the end of a hard day he gets to come home to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be that vibe. And I just feel like maybe she would benefit from thinking that way just a little bit more in this case. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, yes, absolutely, he needs to support you, but like, you need to support him as well. And I feel like that kind of gets lost nowadays, like with the whole rhetoric around like females and relationships nowadays. It's just like females seem like a little bit too worried about what we're not getting from men, and we're not worried enough about what we're not offering. You know what I mean? We're worried about what we're not getting, but we're not understanding that. I feel like that's because we're not kind of giving that trade-off that we used to give for it, but yet expecting still that trade-off. You know what I mean? But that's like a whole huge, like, deep, important topic that we can go into probably a different time, or maybe never. AITA for saying no to my fiance's choice of best man. His ex-fiance's stepdad. Ooh, ex-fiance's stepdad. It honestly does sound like you're the a-hole. If you are not 100% secure in your relationship, that you can't have some sort of person from the past around, like, honestly, even if it were his ex that he wanted to be the best man or whatever, it's like, if you're not secure in your relationship enough that you know your man is moved on from what he's moved on from and committed to you, I don't know that makes you the a-hole per se, but that's an issue. That's all I'm saying. AITA for saying no to my fiance's choice of best man, his ex-fiance's stepdad. My 35 female fiance, male 35, announced he wants his ex-fiance's stepdad to be his best man at our wedding. I immediately said no. I wasn't aware he is in contact with his ex's family, let alone the stepdad and his best friend is his best friend. This is a much bigger issue, y'all. We've been together for 3.5 years and due to get married in 6 months. The stepdad's plus one would be his ex's mom. He didn't tell me sooner because he didn't want to hurt my feelings. Then he said he didn't tell me because he forgot. Not the first time something has been kept from me to spare my feelings. Girl, get out before it's too late. Run. I'm so serious. I'm so serious because this is crazy. Like, you should not be 3.5 years into a relationship and he's never even mentioned someone that his best friend. He definitely shouldn't be in the habit of keeping things from you to spare your feelings. Like, there's just the list goes on and on. Like, red flags are just bing binging everywhere on this. Like, this is crazy. And you're saying, like, this is not the first time something has been kept from me to spare my feelings. So let's not, forget to acknowledge your role in this. Just as, like, you're kind of allowing this behavior where he's not upfront and forthcoming with information to you, and then he can kind of come back on that excuse of, oh, it was to spare your feelings. No, sparing someone's feelings is being forthright with information. Like, what do you actually mean to spare? Like, I hate that excuse. Like, oh, I didn't tell you to spare your feelings. Then, like, what are we doing right now in this moment where I know and I'm upset because you didn't tell me, for one? So it's like, it never even actually works to spare feelings. The best way you can spare someone's feelings is to just be direct and polite with them. Let them know and let them deal with the information accordingly. Like, what do you actually mean? And I think that about wraps up this video. If you like that video, don't forget to hit the little thumbs up down below. Subscribe while you're hanging out down there. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.